Welcome back. All right, 3 days of games on the board. We've got 4 games tonight in the National Hockey League. We've got 13 tomorrow and 8 games on Sunday. I won't be home for all of the action tonight, but we'll go ahead and we'll preview things. For Friday, we have 2 games starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We have a game starting 2 hours later and one an hour after that. So nicely spread out if you are wanting to watch all the action tonight. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. The New York Rangers in Detroit against the Red Wings. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again November 16th and April 4th. The Rangers are 6-6-2 on the season. Will Cooley off to a bit of a slow start. 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. Panarin shaved his head. He's trying to change things up, I guess. 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. It's a weird thing to report on, but hey, whatever gets you out of your slump, right? But yeah, 2 goals for Panarin is just not enough, and the Rangers need more. The good news for the Rangers tonight is they're on the road. Tomorrow they're at home. Very different experience with them on the road than at home. And so for Detroit, who are 9-5, they have to be aware that this is the road Rangers, who tend to be better than the home Rangers. DeBrincat, 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points for DeBrincat thus far this season. Patrick Kane will be greatly welcomed back should he play tonight. 5 games, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points for Patrick Kane at the time of the injury. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. Minnesota in New York against the Islanders. So Morning Islanders, I figure back-to-backs, they should win one of them. First of 2 meetings, these teams meet again in Minnesota on January 10th. For the Wild, they are 5-7-3. Marco Rossi, 3 goals, 9 assists, 12 points for him thus far. Hartman, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points for Ryan Hartman. On the Islanders side, they are 6-5-2 so far this year. Barzell, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points. Anders Lee, just the 2 goals to go with 7 assists for 9 points. So more goals are on the way. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific start. The Chicago Blackhawks in Calgary against the Flames. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again November 18th and January 15th. Chicago, 6-5-3 start to the year. Bertuzzi, 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points for Tyler Bertuzzi. Bedard, 7 goals, 11 assists, 18 points. And he has really taken his game to that next level this year. On the Calgary side, they are 4-9-2. Nazem Kadri, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. The 1,000th game in the rearview mirror. We'll see what happens now. This is supposed to be where we start to hear about where Kadri might go and what may happen, right? Backlund, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points for Michael Backlund, as he got an empty netter, I believe, in the last game. So we'll see if he can get himself going offensively. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start. Winnipeg in San Jose against the Sharks. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again March 1st and April 16th. San Jose's not a gimme now, and Winnipeg's got to realize that coming out of their loss against LA. They are 9-4, are the Winnipeg Jets. Scheifele, 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 points. Strong numbers from him. Taves, 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points. He's provided a very reliable, steady play throughout. As I've mentioned previously, his offense isn't going to be what it was during his prime, but he is giving them very good two-way play. On the San Jose side, they're 5-6-3 thus far. Will Smith, 5 goals, 8 assists, 13 points for the youngster. Kurashev, 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points. Has been hot recently. So those are your 4 games for Friday. You guys can let me know who you think's going to win those games in the comment section below, of course. And we'll go ahead. We'll move along into Saturday's action. So Saturday, we have 1 game starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, which is 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Then a half an hour later, another one. And then there's a third early game as well. Before we get into the late starts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And then the next 4 start at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. So it's not that bad for a Saturday, really. So starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, the Pittsburgh Penguins in New Jersey against the Devils. First of 4 meetings. They'll meet again January 8th, February 26th, and April 9th. Pittsburgh, 9-4-2 so far on the season. Far closer to tops in the league than anyone anticipated. Malkin, ridiculous numbers from Malkin. 3 goals, 17 assists, 20 points thus far. And Crosby's had remarkable numbers. His 11 goals, isn't he tied for or in the league lead for goals at this point? 11 goals, 8 assists, 19 points. Imagine if Crosby won the Rocket Richard this year. Just ridiculous. It definitely helps that he's scoring on the power play this year, which he didn't really need in previous seasons. On the New Jersey side, 10-4 is their record. Timo Meier, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points. And Jesper Bratt, 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points. So this may very well be your battle for first place in the division this year, and I'm here for it. 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific start between Ottawa and Philly. Philly, the hosts, on October 23rd, I should say. Ottawa won 2-1. On February 5th, they will play the third and final game in this season series. On the Ottawa side, they are 6-5-3, coming off that overtime loss against Boston last night. Dylan Cousins, 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points. Batherson's only played 11 games. He's had 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points in those 11 games. On the Philadelphia side, they are 8-5-1. Really good record for Philly. Konechny, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. And Trevor Zegras, above a point per game. 4 goals, 11 assists, 15 points for Zegras. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific start. Dallas in Nashville against the Preds. On October 26th, Dallas won this matchup 3-2. These teams will meet again on February the 28th. For Dallas, they're 7-4-3 so far this year. Tyler Seguin, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points. Rantanen, 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points. Really good numbers from Rantanen thus far. On the Nashville side, they are 5-7-4. So they're getting points. They're only 2 games below NHL 500. Forsberg, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points. Matthew Woods played 9 games. In those 9 games, he's been productive. 3 goals, 3 assists for 6 points. And then at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, as I previously mentioned, a bunch of games starting then, beginning with Boston in Toronto against the Leafs. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again November 11th and March the 24th. Boston is 9-7 on the season. Zacha, 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points. Geekie, 10 goals, 3 assists, 13 points. Geekie's just been fantastic. On the Toronto side, they are 8-5-1. Austin Matthews, 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points. Michelli, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. I think Michelli's been good recently. We'll see if he gets more points. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. Utah, the Mammoth, playing in Montreal against the Canadiens. This is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Salt Lake City on November 26th. On the Utah side, they are 9-5 to start the year. Cooley still stuck on 8 goals. 8 goals, 4 assists, 12 points for Cooley. Barrett Hayden, prominent player, never gets the amount of points you think he would. Just 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points for Hayden. On the Montreal side, they're 9-3-2 to start off the season. Caulfield, 10 goals, 6 assists for 16 points. Slavkovsky, 6 goals, 2 assists for 8 points thus far for Uri Slavkovsky. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific start between Washington and Tampa. Tampa playing the hosts. On October 14th, Washington won this matchup in overtime 3-2. These teams meet again on November 22nd, so they'll be done with each other at that point. For the Capitals, they are 7-6-1. Ovechkin, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points. He has 900 goals now in his career. I do think that what we've seen from him this year, it's probably going to be his final year. I think this will probably be his final season. But he heated up pretty good after a slow start last year. Maybe he'll heat up again after a slow start this year. Tom Wilson, 9 goals, 7 assists, 16 points. Definitely carrying the load offensively for the Capitals. On the Tampa Bay side, they're 7-5-2 to start the season. Hagel, 6 goals, 6 assists, 12 points. Braden Point, 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points for Braden Point. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. The Islanders in New York against the Rangers. The Battle of New York. First of 4 meetings. They'll meet again December 27th, January 28th, and January 29th. So they'll get to know each other really well over that month, about a month period. The Islanders 6-5-2 to start things off, of course, as I mentioned here. Bo Horvat, 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points. Emil Heineman, 5 goals, 3 assists for 8 points. On the Rangers side, so they go from playing in Detroit to hosting the Islanders. 6-6-2 for the Rangers, of course, as I previously mentioned. Lafreniere, just the 1 goal. 5 assists for 6 points. Lafreniere, just the offensive side of things, just has not developed the way that people had expected. JT Miller, 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. Which, again, if you look at the career average for Miller before he went to Vancouver, he would post around 50 points a year. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between Buffalo and Carolina. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again November 23rd and January 19th. On the Buffalo side, they are 5-5-4 thus far this season. Jack Quinn, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points. They need him to heat up. And Alex Tuck, 5 goals, 7 assists for 12 points. On the Carolina side, they are 9-4 thus far this season. Nick Ehlers is on a goal-scoring streak now of 2 games. He has 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. And Sebastian Aho, 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points for Aho. Starting at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, Seattle playing in St. Louis against the Blues. First of 3 meetings. They meet again February 26th and March the 4th. Seattle 6-3-4 to start the season. Eberle 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points has been pretty consistent. Shane Wright 3 goals, 4 assists for 7 points. On the St. Louis side, they are 5-8-2 thus far. Kyrou 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points. Need a little more from Kyrou. And Buchnevich as well, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. There's just a lot of players in slumps right now in St. Louis. And depending on the game, they either look like they're coming out of it or they don't. Last night, they did. But the previous game, they didn't. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start between Colorado and Edmonton. This is the first of 3 meetings. This is, of course, in Edmonton. They'll meet again March 10th and April 13th. The Colorado Avalanche, 8-1-5 to start the season. Lehkonen, 4 goals, 8 assists, 12 points. Necas, 9 goals, 9 assists, 18 points so far for Marty Necas. On the Edmonton side, they are 6-5-4 to start the season. Draisaitl, 10 goals, 7 assists, 17 points. Roslovic, 3 goals, 5 assists for 8 points. So Roslovic's been productive for them. It's interesting with Draisaitl. They've got 17 points and 10 goals. And yet I still feel like there's another gear that Draisaitl and McDavid can get to. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start. Columbus playing in Vancouver against the Canucks. First of 2 meetings. They'll meet again in Columbus on January the 15th. Columbus is 7-6 to start the season. Voronkov, 5 goals, 5 assists, 10 points for Voronkov. Boone Jenner, 2 goals, 6 assists, 8 points. On the Vancouver side, they are 7-8 to start the season. Evander Kane, the goals are there now. 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. Maybe his hot streak will continue. Kiefer Sherwood, 9 goals. No assists, just the 9 goals for Sherwood thus far. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific start. Anaheim in Vegas against the Golden Knights. First of 3 meetings. They'll meet again November 22nd and February the 1st. On the Anaheim side, they are 9-3-1 to start the season. McTavish, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points. And Seneca, 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points for Beckett Seneca. On the Vegas side, they are 7-3-3, coming off of a loss last night against Tampa. Marner, 4 goals, 13 assists, 17 points thus far. Jack Eichel, 8 goals, 13 assists, 21 points. Remains amongst the league leaders in terms of points. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, the final game of the night. Florida playing in San Jose against the Sharks. First of 2 meetings. They'll meet again January 19th in Florida. So for San Jose, who've been looking a lot better, the next couple of days are going to be a nice test. First at home against Winnipeg, and then at home against Florida. Florida's 7-6-1 on the season. Lundell, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points. Marchand looks 10 years younger. 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points. Going to Florida was probably the best idea that Marchand's had in his career. Honestly. I mean, he could have stayed in Boston, signed for probably more money than he's getting from Florida. I don't know that he would have produced like this if he'd stayed in Boston. I feel like playing in Florida has really rejuvenated him. On the San Jose side, as I previously mentioned, they are 5-6-3. Eklund, 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points for Eklund. And Celebrini, 8 goals, 13 assists, 21 points for Macklin Celebrini. So yeah, those are your 13 games for the Saturday. Now we'll take a look at the Sunday, where we have 8 games on the schedule, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So Sunday night, or I should say Sunday, it's hockey all day again. So December 13th, Chicago will host Detroit, but on Sunday it is Detroit hosting Chicago. The Blackhawks 6-5-3, as I mentioned here. Donato, 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points. Nazar, 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points. So for Chicago, they go from playing in Calgary to playing in Detroit. The Red Wings, 9-5, as mentioned here, where they were hosting the Rangers. Now, of course, hosting Chicago. Larkin, 8 goals, 10 assists, 18 points for Larkin. JT Compher, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. I know there are some who aren't a huge fan of Compher. I really hope he has a good year in Detroit. 2 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific start. The LA Kings playing in Pittsburgh against the Penguins. On October 16th, Pittsburgh went into LA and won 4-2. So LA, who have been better on the road than at home, are going to look to get their measure of revenge here. LA is 6-5-4 thus far this season. Kempe, 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points. Byfield, 2 goals, 10 assists, 12 points thus far for Quentin Byfield. On the Pittsburgh side, they are 9-4-2. So they go from playing in New Jersey to hosting the Kings. Rust, 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points for Brian Rust. And for Mantha, 7 goals, 5 assists, 12 points. Continues to be productive early this year for Pittsburgh. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We have 3 games starting then, beginning with Carolina playing in Toronto against the Leafs. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again December 4th and March the 20th. Carolina's 9-4 thus far this season. Seth Jarvis, 8 goals, 5 assists for 13 points. Jackson Blake, 4 goals, 6 assists for 10 points. On the Toronto side, they are, as I've previously mentioned, 8-5-1. Nylander, 6 goals, 14 assists, 20 points for Nylander. Tavares, 7 goals, 11 assists, 18 points. He's just been fantastic. So Toronto hosts Boston, and then they host Carolina. A couple of good tests for Toronto, who seem to have turned things around. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start. The Utah Mammoth playing in Ottawa against the Sens. So this is the first of 2 meetings. They'll meet again January 7th in Salt Lake City. For Utah, they are 9-5 so far this year. Peterka, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points for JJ. Gunther, 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points for him. On the Ottawa side, as previously mentioned, they are 6-5-3. They go from playing in Philadelphia to hosting Utah. Stützle, 6 goals, 8 assists for 14 points for Stützle. And Giroux, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points for Claude Giroux. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start as well. Seattle, they go from playing in St. Louis to playing in Dallas. So this is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again November 26th and February 25th. Seattle, as I mentioned, 6-3-4 so far. Schwartz, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points. Mason Marchment, not producing the way that I would have expected. A goal and 4 assists, 5 points. Especially since he started off hot for them. On the Dallas side, 7-4-3 is their record, as I mentioned here. So they go from playing in Nashville on Saturday to hosting the Seattle Kraken on Sunday. Johnston, 9 goals, 8 assists, 17 points thus far. Robertson, 3 goals, 10 assists for 13 points. So, yeah, that should be an interesting one. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific start. Calgary played in Minnesota. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again on December 4th. And January 29th. For the Flames, they are 4-9-2 thus far this season. Coleman, 6 goals and an assist for 7 points. Matthew Coronado, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points for Matt Coronado. He's been kind of cold lately, but we know he's a young player. He'll get through it. On the Minnesota side, they are 5-7-3, as I've previously mentioned. Boldy, 7 goals, 8 assists, 15 points for Boldy. And Johansson, 6 goals, 7 assists for 13 points. Where's Minnesota on this? Right here. So they go from playing in New York against the Islanders tonight to hosting Calgary on Saturday. Calgary goes from hosting Chicago tonight to playing in Minnesota on Sunday. I say Saturday, I meant Sunday. All right, and then the last 2 games start at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, and they're down in this corner where you can't read it. Colorado playing in Vancouver first off. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again December 2nd and April the 1st. Colorado, as I mentioned, 8-1-5 on the year. McKinnon, 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 points, just doing McKinnon things. Olofsson, 5 goals, 7 assists, 12 points. Really strong start so far for Victor Olofsson. On the, yes, Victor Olofsson. On the, because I'm thinking, wait, is that the Olofsson? There's another Olofsson? No, it's Victor Olofsson. Vancouver, 7-8 on the season. Pettersson, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points thus far for Pettersson. And O'Connor has been prominent lately, so I wanted to put Drew O'Connor on the board. 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points. Also at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, the Anaheim Ducks playing at home against Winnipeg. So Winnipeg doing the California trip. It wraps up in Anaheim. This is the first of 3 meetings. They'll meet again February 27th and March the 10th. For Winnipeg, they are 9-4, as I mentioned here. Velarde, 5 goals, 8 assists, 13 points thus far for Gabe Velarde. And Kyle Connor, 8 goals, 9 assists, 17 points for Connor. On the Anaheim side, Troy Terry, 5 goals, 12 assists, 17 points for the veteran. And Gauthier, Cutter Gauthier, 11 goals, 7 assists, 18 points. Quite the shot that Gauthier kid's got. And so Anaheim's pretty happy with the returns on the Drysdale trade to this point. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always, including your picks for this weekend's games. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always. I will talk to you again soon.